History has created geniuses, conquerors, heroes, and legends. But my favorite category will always be the absolute accidents, the people who became famous by mistake. The humans who tripped, sneezed, misheard something, did the wrong thing, or existed in the wrong place at the wrong time. And history said, yes, perfect, you are iconic now. School never teaches these characters. Probably because every teacher knows their students would instantly realize that half of history was written by people who had no idea what they were doing. Not one clue. Just pure chaotic energy and confidence. These characters did not rise to greatness. They stumbled into it like a toddler bumping into a light switch. They became legends because reality glitched for a moment. So today, we are exploring 22 of the funniest characters history accidentally created. Humans who became symbols, heroes, philosophers, or disasters because of accidents, misunderstandings, and the universe running out of adults to supervise. Let us begin with one of the strangest historical icons born entirely by mistake. 1. The king who became a meme before memes existed. People imagine medieval kings as majestic, powerful, regal, walking in slow motion with dramatic music. But this king became famous because he tripped during his own coronation. He did not just stumble. He wiped out like someone unplugged his dignity. Crowd gasped. Nobles froze. And the ceremony had to stop because everyone thought the fall was an omen. Here is the real twist. Instead of being forgotten, the moment spread across the kingdom through gossip and jokes. Bards sang about it. Villagers reenacted it. His entire identity became that king who ate the floor on day one. Modern version. Imagine becoming president, and your first viral clip is falling down the stairs. Congratulations. History has spoken. 2. The soldier who could not die even when he tried. Every army loves a hero story. Men charging into battle with courage and strategy. But this guy became legendary for one reason. He survived every disaster by accident. He fell off a horse and landed on an enemy. Bomb went off. He happened to be behind a rock. Bridge collapsed. He was tying his shoe. Arrows missed him because he sneezed at the perfect moment. Soldiers started whispering that he had magic powers. Commanders used him as a mascot. Everyone wanted to fight near him because he was apparently immortal through clumsiness. Truth. He was not gifted. Not special. Just the human embodiment of wrong place, right time. If he lived today, he would be the guy who drops his phone off a balcony and it lands safely on a cushion. A walking bug in the simulation. 3. The philosopher who built a career on a misunderstanding. People love to imagine ancient philosophers as deep thinkers. Wise. Focused. Sitting under olive trees dropping world-changing ideas. Not this guy. He misheard a debate at the marketplace. A simple argument about farming. He thought they were discussing the nature of existence. He took notes. He published them. People read his work and thought he was a genius. Suddenly he had students, followers, patrons, an entire school built around ideas he did not even mean to write. When historians looked back, they realized half his quotes were based on the wrong original conversation. He spent his life defending arguments that started with, "Sorry, what did you say?" Modern version. Imagine overhearing two people talk about a sandwich, misinterpreting it as a metaphor for life, posting it online, and becoming an inspirational guru. That was him. 4. The pirate captain who just wanted to quit. People think pirate captains earned their title through fear, strength, and ocean dominance. No. This man became captain because everyone else resigned. He was a low-ranking crew member. Zero ambition. His only goal was to survive the week. Then the real captain quit after a disastrous storm. The first mate quit. The second mate quit. The crew held a vote. They picked him because he was the only one who did not annoy them. Suddenly, he had a ship, a flag, a reputation. Terrified merchants began surrendering because the new captain sounded dangerous. He accidentally became the most feared pirate in his region without committing a single dramatic act. He was basically the guy who becomes manager because everyone else stopped showing up. If LinkedIn existed back then, his profile would say, "Promoted through the power of being present." 5. The monk who rewrote theology because of a spill. People imagine monks as calm scholars, focused, precise, copying sacred texts with perfect discipline. Not this one. He spilled ink across a manuscript, ruined an entire page, tried to fix it, made it worse. His correction looked like a mysterious new symbol. Other monks saw it, assumed it was a hidden teaching. They copied it, translated it, built an entire doctrine around it. Centuries later, scholars realized the holy symbol came from one stressed monk trying to not get yelled at. Imagine a global belief system based on a human version of, "Sorry, my hand slipped." That is exactly what happened. 6. The jester who became a royal advisor by accident. Jesters were supposed to entertain kings, joke, dance, insult nobles just enough to survive. But this guy made a joke about fixing the economy. The king thought it was serious advice, implemented it. It worked. Suddenly the jester became the smartest man in the room. He did not understand taxes, or politics, or strategy. He just made funny faces and accidentally solved national problems. Nobles hated him. The king adored him. And the jester spent years pretending he knew what he was doing. If he lived today, he would be the comedian who makes one sarcastic tweet and accidentally becomes a political advisor. History just rolled with it. 7. The chef who invented a national dish by burning dinner. Great chefs craft masterpieces on purpose. They measure, they taste, they plan. Not this guy. He forgot a pot on the fire, burned everything. The food fused into a weird smoky mess. He panicked. Served it anyway. The guests loved it. Thought the flavor was intentional. Thought it was revolutionary. Word spread. Nobles wanted it. Villagers copied it. Over time it became a national treasure. Historians later found out the recipe was literally oops. Imagine Michelin stars for a kitchen accident. That was his entire legacy. 8. The explorer who discovered the wrong place and became famous for it. He set out with confidence, bold, determined, armed with a map that was basically fanfiction. He misread every direction, turned left when he should have turned right. Ended up in a completely different region. Locals assumed he came on purpose. He assumed he discovered a new world. He returned home as a hero, celebrated, rewarded. People wrote songs about his voyage. Only later did scholars realize he had no clue where he was going. He literally tripped into fame by getting lost magnificently. He would be the modern tourist who uploads a travel vlog from the wrong country and goes viral. 9. The scientist who became legendary because he dropped something. Every great discovery is supposed to be dramatic. Flash of brilliance, years of research. A moment of scientific triumph. Not this man. He dropped an experiment, literally dropped it. Glass shattered, chemicals mixed. His lab filled with a weird reaction nobody had ever seen. He documented it out of panic. Published it because his supervisor demanded a report. Scientists around the world saw it, called him a genius. Turns out the reaction revealed something groundbreaking. He spent the rest of his life pretending it was intentional. Modern version. The guy who accidentally posts a viral life-changing hack by tripping over his camera. 10. The general who won a battle because he overslept. War stories usually involve strategy, planning, intelligence, decisions made under pressure. This general? He was late. He overslept on the day of battle. His army assumed he had a secret plan. They held position. The enemy misread the stillness as tactical brilliance. They panicked. Attacked early. Made mistakes. Collapsed. By the time the general woke up, victory was already happening. He rode out onto the battlefield like he planned everything. History wrote him down as a mastermind. Imagine earning a promotion because your alarm failed. That is the level of greatness we are dealing with here. 11. The merchant who got rich because someone mislabeled his shipment. He was an ordinary trader. Nothing special. Nothing brilliant. Just a man trying to sell boring goods. Then one day his shipment was mislabeled. Instead of basic supplies, the crates were marked as luxury imports. Nobles saw them, assumed they were rare, bought them instantly. He tried to correct them. They would not listen. They thought he was being humble. Within days, his name became synonymous with elite products. Truth. He just sold regular items with the wrong sticker on them. Accidental billionaire energy. Modern version. The influencer who goes viral because someone else mistagged their video. 12. The writer who became famous because printers kept messing up his work. He wrote simple stories. Nothing groundbreaking. Nothing special. But the printers kept making mistakes. Typos, missing words, sentences rearranged. They ruined every page. Readers saw the errors and thought they were intentional, thought it was mysterious. Thought it was genius symbolism. People studied the typos, wrote essays. Taught it in schools. His accidental style became a literary movement. Historians later discovered the author hated all of it. He pleaded with publishers to fix the errors. They refused. They called him innovative. He became famous for work he never meant to write. Proof that sometimes success is just chaos with good marketing. 13. The politician who became iconic because of a misheard slogan. Political legends are supposed to rise through speeches, rallies, movements, powerful words. This one rose because a crowd misheard him. He shouted a boring policy line. Wind distorted it. Crowd thought he said something bold and revolutionary. They erupted, chanted it, printed it on banners, turned it into a national motto. He had no idea why everyone loved his speech. He rode the wave anyway. History recorded him as a visionary. Meanwhile, the original quote was basically, "We need more grain storage." His career was built on an audio glitch. 14. The noble who became a symbol of bravery because he ran in the wrong direction. Every great warrior is expected to charge fearlessly into danger. This man ran the other way, not to retreat, not to surrender. He literally misheard the command. Thought the battlefield was to the left. Bolted straight into an enemy flank by accident. Soldiers saw him. Thought he was making a heroic solo charge. They followed. The enemy panicked. Lines broke. Victory happened. He did not mean to be brave. He just had bad hearing and no sense of direction. But history loves results more than intentions. He died a legend for running the wrong way with confidence. 15. The inventor who created something world-changing by trying to build something else. Inventors are supposed to be intentional, focused, purpose-driven, not this one. He set out to build a complicated machine, a masterpiece, a device that would change the world. Instead, one tiny mistake created something completely different. He pressed a part too hard, misaligned a gear. The mechanism jammed, and the accident produced a new invention that people loved instantly. Scholars praised him. Crowds celebrated him. Industries formed around his creation. He accepted awards while quietly panicking because he had no idea how he did it. Modern equivalent. Posting a meme instead of a resume and getting hired. 16. The warrior who accidentally started a cult by performing a joke ritual. Warriors are supposed to inspire loyalty, strength, discipline, not religious confusion. One night he joked around with his friends. Performed a silly ritual as a prank. Danced, chanted nonsense. Pretended it was ancient wisdom. A group of villagers saw him. Assumed it was sacred. Copied it, spread it, turned it into a belief system. Within years, the ritual became a full tradition. Pilgrims repeated his nonsense with absolute devotion. He tried to explain. They ignored him. They thought the denial was part of the Enlightenment process. History remembered him as a spiritual founder. He remembered himself as the guy who made up a dance after drinking too much. 17. The spy who exposed himself because he could not stop flirting. Spies are trained to blend in, silent, stealthy, invisible. This man was none of those things. He flirted with everyone. Waiters, nobles, guards, diplomats, people he was supposed to be spying on. One night he tried to impress someone by bragging about dangerous secret missions. He thought he was being mysterious. They thought he was confessing. They reported him. Authorities investigated. His entire network fell apart in 2 weeks. He became infamous across the region. Not for espionage, but for being the first spy undone by his own inability to stop flirting. History recorded him as a national embarrassment with great cheekbones. 18. The musician who became legendary because he played the wrong note at the perfect moment. Great musicians rehearse for years. They chase precision, perfect pitch, flawless performance. This man? He hit the wrong key, right in the middle of a famous concert. Everyone heard it. Everyone froze. But the mistake somehow fit the music. The audience thought it was genius improvisation. Critics called it revolutionary. The style spread. Other musicians copied it. He became a pioneer of a brand new genre by accident. He never told anyone it was a mistake. He took the applause and walked away like a legend. Modern version. Someone typing a typo in a tweet and accidentally inventing a new word the entire internet starts using. 19. The scholar who became famous because he cited the wrong book. Academics love to pretend everything they write is intentional. Careful, accurate, peer-reviewed perfection. Not this man. He miscopied a reference. Accidentally cited a completely unrelated book. A book nobody had ever heard of. Scholars rushed to read it. They found obscure ideas, declared them brilliant, called him a visionary for discovering hidden wisdom. He panicked, tried to fix the citation. Publishers refused. They insisted the accidental source was part of his genius. Eventually, the wrong book became required reading. Students suffered through it for centuries, all because one scholar forgot to double-check a footnote. Modern equivalent. Someone pastes the wrong link in a bio and becomes famous for an article they never wrote. 20. The diplomat who accidentally told the truth. Diplomats are trained to talk without saying anything. Careful phrasing, smiling silence. A language made of polite lies. But during a tense negotiation, this diplomat slipped. He said what everyone was actually thinking. Out loud. In front of both sides, with full confidence. The room froze. Alliances cracked. Secrets spilled. Tensions exploded. Everyone blamed the man for ruining the negotiation. But the public loved him. They called him brave, honest, a hero who exposed corruption by accident. In reality, he was just sleep-deprived and forgot to filter his thoughts. A global political shift caused by one exhausted brain cell. 21. The warrior who became a hero because he arrived late. Every legendary warrior is expected to charge into battle. Sword raised, eyes blazing, courage overflowing. This man slept in, overslept, missed the entire battle. When he finally arrived, everyone else was already gone. Only the enemy remained. But the enemy assumed he was the lone survivor of a brutal fight. They panicked, they fled. He strolled into the empty field, confused and victorious. The story spread. People thought he single-handedly defeated an entire army. Songs were written, paintings made. A national hero born through poor time management. If he lived today, he would be the guy who shows up late to a meeting and gets promoted because everyone thinks he solved the crisis. 22. The farmer whose angry letter accidentally started a revolution. He was not a leader, not a philosopher, not an activist. Just a man who was tired of paying unfair taxes. He wrote a complaint letter, a rant, nothing refined, nothing intellectual. Just pure frustration written after a long, exhausting day. A local official lost the letter. Someone else found it. They thought it was a manifesto. Copied it, shared it. People rallied around it. Suddenly, the farmer became the voice of a movement. Nations shook. Protests grew. History credited him with inspiring a revolution. All because he wanted someone to fix his crops and lower his taxes. Imagine starting a national uprising because you wrote a bad Yelp review. History loves pretending it was shaped by genius. By visionaries, by people who knew exactly what they were doing. But after meeting these 22 characters, you realize the truth. History was carried by accidents, misunderstandings, wrong turns, wrong notes, wrong buttons. Wrong everything. Humanity did not build greatness. It tripped into it face first. So now tell me, which accidental legend is your favorite? Which one made you realize the universe might just be running on improv mode? Drop it in the comments. Like the video if your brain feels delightfully betrayed. Subscribe if you enjoy history told the way it actually happened. And remember, half of history is just people messing up confidently.